Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2023 and another part of the Journeyman. Today, we are going over our transfers with Real Madrid, and there is a special surprise that I'm going to try and keep a secret for as long as possible. But yeah, hopefully you guys are good. Thank you for the incredible support on the last few episodes. Of course, we've experienced incredible success with Real Madrid. We won the quadruple at the end of last episode. And yeah, we came into this summer with not a lot of money to spend. And, you know, we said we're not going to do a transfer special. But I did keep notes of special events and things like that, so we will have a little look at that. And the main one was, of course, Kylian Mbappe. His retirement. It was a sad day, a sad day. Kylian Mbappe went, and unfortunately he hasn't stayed in football, even though he said to me he wanted to stay in and become a manager. He hasn't stayed in football. He's gone off and he's doing his own thing, but became a Real Madrid legend on the way to that. And yeah, what a shame. We couldn't get him to stay. It is what it is. Kylian Mbappe has gone on his merry way. But we have brought in lots of players to replace him as we potentially look to win 5 trophies next season. We are going to be in La Liga, the Champions League, Super Cup, Copa del Rey, and the Super Copa. I'm going to sort of take you on a little journey of the world, how that's going, because there's a lot to get to. There's a big surprise in store at the end of this, and as of recording right now, I'm not entirely sure where it's going to lead, but we will see. We will see anyway. First things first, let's have a little look at transfers. So we have brought in a few players. We've managed to get rid of quite a few of the rubbish, as I like to call them. So Christian Corti, he was one of the players on 375 grand a week. We managed to get rid of him. He's went to Levante. We are paying £175,000 a week until 2037, but that reduces our wage budget by 200,000, so that was an absolute no-brainer. Adria Serrano, he's gone to Middlesbrough out on loan for the season. They're paying a decent amount of his wages, 110,000 every time he plays, 145,000 when he doesn't. So again, that gives us 200,000 pretty much back. Sorry, 100,000 back into the wages. So I was happy with those two getting off the books. We also got rid of Piares, Manzano, nil. Oyeda's gone as well. And hopefully more to come. On the ins, we have brought in quite a few players and quite a few experienced players. So Destiny Udogie, we knew about this one. He's come in from Newcastle on a free transfer. 3.5-star left back. I think definitely what we needed. Probably not Missy Botto at left back, who is a left winger. We've made him into a left back over the last half of the season, and he's done well. But we've now got a specialist in there to play for us. We also brought in Jason Verroge. He's come in from PSV on a free transfer. He's scored a lot of goals for PSV over the last number of years over in the Netherlands. And what attracted me to him was some ridiculous set-piece attributes. So, if he comes in as a substitute, we need a backup for Johnny Ballesteros, basically. So, brought him in. I thought he'd be pretty good. Again, on a free transfer. End of contract. That's kind of where we've needed to go, because we haven't had the money to reinvest particularly. We did sign Yari Pajares. He's gone out on loan. He's not a player that we've got rid of. I have had this set up for quite some time. He's joined us for £9 million. He had a terrific season in the Spanish Championship, essentially. 2.5-star player, 5-star potential. He's only 18. He is going to get better and better, and will, I think, eventually be the player that replaces Vinicius Jr. on that left-hand side. We've then got Giorgio Scalvini, a 31-year-old Italian centre-back, can also play defensive midfield. He's come in from Liverpool for £39 million. I know it's quite a hefty amount of money, but for the quality that we've got there, I'm very, very happy with that. We needed a third centre-back to rotate into the system, and 3.5-star player. We cannot turn that down at Real Madrid. And then a familiar face. Again, we've gone back to Leeds and brought in a great player on loan. Daniel Weber has come in this time. I do think he is going to be a world beater at some point. He's never really hit it off at Leeds United after joining from Dortmund for £55 million. He is going to be exploring his options at the end of the season. So if he is any good, we can hopefully put in a Bosman signing for him in January. That would be awesome. We then signed Angel on a free transfer, 1-star ability, 3.5-star potential. He's a 16-year-old Spanish striker. He's gone straight to Castilla, and hopefully he will learn his trade there and fulfill his potential. And then finally we signed the classic Sandro Tonali. Big sign in this one. £24 million for a 35-year-old. We did that last year with Kylian Mbappe, but look at some of these attributes still. He is a 4-star player. He's been playing for AC Milan for donkey's years, playing absolutely terrifically, still at a wonderfully high level. He's got 139 caps for Italy, and I think he's still going to have a few years left in him, looking at his natural fitness and his leadership more than anything is surely going to help us massively and fill in that loss of Kylian Mbappe. So that's where we're at. Financially, we're not so bad. We've got the wage budget very much under control now, and fingers crossed this situation will start improving. Quite a few people were asking, how come it's so bad at Real Madrid? And I don't know. Our number one objective when we came in was to repair the financial situation. Luckily for us, we did that last season, and they're very, very happy with that. This season, they want us to essentially do what we did last year: win La Liga, win the Super Cup, challenge for the Champions League, and challenge for the other competitions as well if we can. Supporters-wise, they want us to play attacking football. They're happy with that. Make the most of set pieces. Play a high-tempo pressing game. They want us to finish above Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and of course, win La Liga. I've went on a big sort of clicking movement of the save so far, and I do just want to show you some of the crazy goings on. So if we go to Johnny Ballesteros and then into the Premier League, that was the quickest way I could think of that. I could have just typed it at the top. I don't know why I'm being an idiot, but I thought I would have a little look at some of the records. You'll see why I was looking at the records in a minute, but I went into sequences and most matches without losing, and I thought, has anybody done an invincible season? And you look down and you think, oh my god, a 34 that season, that's pretty incredible. 37 Liverpool, 6th of August to the 20th of May, and I thought, they must have just lost the opening game of the season. Well, Liverpool in the season 2022-23 lost the final Premier League game of the season to Tottenham at Anfield. They nearly became the second invincible side ever. And I just thought that was fabulous. I thought that was just classic Liverpool. Now, of course, back in those days, we weren't bothered about the Premier League because we was at Kidderminster. We weren't looking this high up. So that's, of course, when we missed it there. But how on earth did Liverpool go all that time and then lost the final game of the season? I'm just looking at all of these players. Darwin Núñez is still playing, funnily enough. Luis Diaz, he's gone. I'm just trying to click on a few of them. Naby Keita's gone. Firmino's gone. Jota is gone as well. We are being sort of taken over by the young players now. And this is an interesting one, isn't it? So Kenneth Taylor joined from Ajax, then he's gone to Brighton, and then to Everton, and he's still at Everton to this day. Is Kenneth Taylor Dutch, is he? Yeah, he is. Kenneth doesn't sound like a Dutch name, does it? Andy Robinson there still. But yeah, I went in a right rabbit hole and looking at some of the records. I was trying to basically work out whether anybody has broken Alan Shearer's record. And it may well be Haaland, to be fair, if you tot up them very quickly. So shall I do that? I've got a calculator handy, so let's just quickly tot those up and see if he's broke Shearer's record. Yes, very much so. He has scored 339 Premier League goals. Now, I don't know whether Harry Kane will have, done something similar. I don't know how we'll find, well, other than actually typing them in. Let's just go Harry Kane. I don't think he will have done it, but I'll quickly tot them up and see if he did. You'll not believe this. He got within one. Oh, dear. He did 265. I think, was it 266 for Alan Shearer? Or was it 260? Maybe it was 260, but there you go. But that's all funny. Now, you will remember at the end of last episode, Leeds United sacked their manager. What's his name? Marco Rose, I think his name was. Yeah, he got sacked at the end of last season, and they went quite a while without a manager. And then this brought in this man, Marcelo Gallardo, and I thought, oh, okay, where did he come from? So we had a look, and he left Porto. So he's joined Porto, and then... he's joined from Porto. And then Unai Emery, believe it or not, is now the Porto manager. And I thought, well, where did he come from? Well, he came from the Netherlands, the national job at the Netherlands. And then they were taken over by Kjetil Knutsen. And I thought, well, where on earth were you manager before? And hey presto, it was England. So through Leeds United, our old club, sacking their manager and setting off a worldwide merry-go-round of managers, I got this email in our inbox, and it has sent me reeling a little bit, to be honest. I had no idea it was coming. I was resigned to the fact that we're going to be at Real Madrid another season. As you can see, I've thought about me signings, and I'm actually really excited about the squad that we've put together. We've replaced Mbappe with a whole legion of great players, and I think it could be a really exciting year. But England have offered us a job. And of course, I've said multiple times, the end goal of this series is to win the World Cup with England. And this is our chance. We might never, ever get another chance at managing England. And yes, it's a little bit of a pay cut. We are on £120,000 a week at Real Madrid. They are only offering us £100,000 per week. But it's obviously going to be back at home, back in England, and doing the job that we want to do to end this series. And I don't think I can turn that down. Now, of course, what I could do is accept England, keep on managing Real Madrid, and have a great time of things doing it that way. However, there have been a handful of managers at best that have ran a club job and international job at the same time. Gus Hiddink was, of course, one of them. But Brian Clough was offered that chance back in the day. I think John Toshak did it with Wales, but I don't think anybody will have ever managed the pressures of Real Madrid in 2035 with the amount of matches we would have next season, and England in the run up to a Euros. So I think it's one or the other. Now, if we have a little look at England, I haven't fully decided yet. I was going to leave it up to you guys, but I think I have to make the decision myself. I have to do it with the realism in mind. That's what the Journeyman is all about, making those realistic decisions. Would my manager in 2035 leave the job of a lifetime at Real Madrid to try and take his country to glory? And that's ultimately what we're thinking of right now. So, England, they are third in the world rankings. They've had, a plethora of top players over the years. If you look at their top players, Tino Livramento at Southampton, he's 32. We know he's been a brilliant player throughout this series. Emre Tezgel, he's at Newcastle these days. He's 29 years old, coming towards the end of his career, or potentially the prime, whichever way you look at it. Jadon Sancho is still there. He's 35 years old. He's playing for Chelsea these days after many, many years at Juventus, and only played 9 times last season in the Premier League for Chelsea. Then we've got Phil Foden, who is 35 years old. He is still at Manchester City, but is playing less and less. Then we've got Jude Bellingham, who is 32 now. He's playing for the Toon and has been an undroppable player for them for many, many years. And then you've got this guy, Drew Warburton, who is a regen. He's a left back. He has been at Liverpool for a long time now, joined from Aston Villa for 79 million. But he's still got a few years left in him. But you look at their squad in general, and if we pop it onto the Captain Goodspeed view, we can see, actually, it looks a fairly old squad, but really there's only 5 players that probably won't make it to the next World Cup. You might get Bellingham, Harvey Elliott and Livramento there, but realistically, are we going to get Foden and Sancho playing in a World Cup at 38? I don't think so. And then you've got sort of the young guns coming through, none of which we really know. I mean, Michael Robinson is there. He's somebody that we've worked with in the past. Matthew Granger, of course, we had at Fulham. He was a wonder kid back then, and it's crazy to see that he's 26. A wonder kid we've managed as a new gen is now 26. He's in the prime of his career. And England themselves, I mean, let's have a little look at their World Cup and Euros journey over the last few years. So they have generally been, qualifying fairly easily for them. If we go all the way back to 2022, they went out in the World Cup second round. Bukayo Saka and James Maddison scored, but Ecuador came out on top. James Maddison is now retired. Bukayo Saka, I assume, has retired from international football. Yes, he has. I'd like to try and tempt him out of it because he is still only 33, and I think he would add a lot to our side. Raheem Sterling, he's retired now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's retired now. Tammy Abraham, it doesn't exist in the game anymore. Calvert-Lewin has retired. He was at Real Madrid. Goodness me. Only played 4 matches for them, but that's quite funny, really. So anyway, England went out in the second round. It was a very, very poor performance from them. They lost to Ecuador. Then, 2024, second round of the Euros. They lost to Portugal in the second round. Got through the group stage fairly comfortably. Then, 2026. That was a great year for England. They won the third place playoff. They got the semi-final, lost to France. Finished third. They beat Brazil. Put Germany out 3-0 in the quarterfinal of the World Cup. I mean, that's an awesome year. I can imagine England were buzzing. Then 2028 rocks round. They're out in the second round of the Euros again. Poor performance. Then 2030 World Cup. They're knocked out in the third round against Denmark on Penno Jeffs, of all things. Then 2032 comes around. They're out in the second round again in the Euros. 2034 World Cup, they're out in the third round. You get the gist. And now we're building up to Euro 36. England have had a torrid time since the 2022 World Cup. They've had one standout performance, which was third place in the 2026 World Cup. But since then, in the last 10 years, they've had a horrible time. They're getting out of the groups, but then getting knocked out against teams they shouldn't be. So that is really, really attractive to try and bring the glory days back to England. I don't think we'll have the pressure of being expected to win the World Cup or win the Euros straight away. I think we'll get time to build it, and that's really, really attractive to me. And I think had I been this Joe Hannard in 2035, I've just completed the quadruple at Real Madrid. You know, I've achieved a lot in the game since joining Kidderminster, 13 years ago at this point. We're financially secure. England have come calling, and they've said, right, Joe, we want you to do what you've done at Leeds, at Real Madrid, rebuild our side, and get us to winning things again. And I think I've talked myself into it now. I think we've got to say yes. So it is goodbye to Real Madrid. We're going to accept this offer here. We are England manager. We are England manager. With Hannard set of dividers, I'm not doing that. I've accumulated 12 years of experience with the likes of Leeds United and Fulham. Hannard prefers to use a 4-3-3 diamond. I was a subject of considerable criticism. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. So we've got Annabelle Nash, the personal assistant. I'd like to formally welcome you to the England setup. To get you acquainted with your new surroundings, you'll receive our introductory welcome pack before going on to finalise the vision and objectives where to proceed together with. Congratulations again. So obviously we've won the Nations League. That is something that's happened. We're behind Spain and France in the world rankings. We've reached the highest position of second, lowest world ranking of 27th. Harry Kane's the all-time world scorer. And the most capped player, Declan Rice, interestingly enough. Right, let's push on. There is our current best 11, including Jude Bellingham. Brett Betts from Bayern Munich is in there as well. Phil Foden still in there, but generally it's a new gen team, which is lovely, and we'll be able to get to know those very, very soon. We are going to schedule a press conference, and yeah, we're all done. We are all done. And now what we need to do is go into Real Madrid and tender our resignation. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We have received and accepted your resignation. We understand your need to focus on your national team job. We'd like to acknowledge your fantastic performance level while managing here. The board would like to thank you for your service and wish you all the best for your future endeavours. I don't think that's the end of our Real Madrid story, by the way. I think we will be back at some point. But there you go. We are out. We've left them. We went in. We won the quadruple, and I think that is what we wanted to do. Zinedine Zidane is the favourite straight away. So the Juventus job, the one that we potentially wanted, is perhaps going to become available. Abel Ferreira is potentially wanted as well. Although Brighton Reiner from Napoli. So it looks like they're looking towards Italy for their next manager, which is awesome. So there you go. We are England manager, everybody. Let's take our first press conference. We'll attend that and see what they have to say. There's a lot of pressure on national managers to hit the ground running. Are you confident that you'll be able to do that? I have confidence that we can hit the ground running. The pressures of managing at international level are enormous, and this is reflected by huge interest that surrounds both team and manager. There's a lot of pressure to handle. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't have that. You add considerably to what must be well, yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, we're just going to have to... You've taken over halfway through. Are you confident you can guide them through safely? Yes. Have you had a chance to think about tactics? Yeah, we've developed our philosophy. If the players at England don't fit in, I'm not so naive to persist with something that clearly isn't working. Of course, your first match in charge is against Hungary in the Euro qualifiers. How well prepared are you? Ready for it. Brett Betts is widely regarded to be key. Okay. There are concerns with the number of England who are getting on in terms of age. Yeah, we can bring in some younger players. Based on player reputation, I select those who deserve to play. We are England manager. Thank you very much. That is what we like to see. And our first match will be against Hungary. Let's have a little look at the schedule. We'll have a little look around. We can get rid of the filter now. But I hope you enjoyed that little journey towards towards coming into this season. So, yeah, we've got Hungary. That's on my birthday as well, 8th of September, 2035. That will be my 38th birthday, and we are taking charge of England for the first time. It's meant to be. We are actually top of the group. We've won all 3 matches so far. As I say, I think we should comfortably get up into the Euros, and then we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I don't think we'll have massive pressure on us. I'm hoping that that's not the case anyway. Yeah, competition performance. They want us to qualify from that. They want us to reach the semi-final of the UEFA Nations League. Sorry, they're not going to be judging our performance this time. Tactically, they're not really bothered, so that's all good. Under 21 team, there are some good players in the under 21s. They might be people to have a look at. Under 20s is looking good as well. Things are looking exciting for the future, that is for sure. And hopefully we'll be able to build upon what is already here as a wonderful basis of a nation. We haven't really been out the top 5. We have not been out of the top 5 since 2026 by the looks of things. So we are one of the absolute big players, as you would expect England to be. And we will be pushing on in the next episode. Let me know what you think about all of that. I've made that decision. Honestly, absolute promise here. Sitting at the start of this episode, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to ask you guys for your advice, but I talked myself into it. We are going to be manager of England. We're going to be focused on that for at least the next 3 years until the World Cup. If we win the World Cup, then we'll see what comes for us after that. But I'm not expecting it to be quite that easy. Although if we are getting knocked out in the group stage, etc., then we're probably going to be sacked as England manager, which isn't fantastic on the CV, is it? But yes, we will be back tomorrow with our first matches in charge of England. We'll do the Hungary and Scotland games. They don't get any bigger than that, really, do they? Our first match in charge on our birthday, and then we play the big rival Scotland. So it's going to be awesome. And I hope that you're going to enjoy it. Something a bit different for a little bit with the international picture. Obviously, time will progress quite quickly, and we will be ready and raring to go for the Euros next year, fingers crossed. So, if you have enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.